Got locked in now, laser focus.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Locked In.
You guys have a great show.
I'm Sam Rodriguez. For example, I have the names too.
Oh, you got the names? Okay. I'm Megan Holden, and I don't want to hear no Homer thing because I'm about to back it up.
And we're here covering the latest and hottest NFL and NBA news. Tom Brady's not the GOAT. That's all I can say.
Sam, you canceled.
So I'm sure everyone heard about the Patrick Mahomes contract. We're going to talk about if Kanas City jumped the gun or was a good signing, how it's going to impact the QB market. Also, we're going to be talking about the next phase of NBA League post-LeBron. There's a lot of young players and there's a lot of choices out there. And lastly, we'll be talking about what QB going to the 2020 NFL season has the most on the line. Now we're going to go to Sam for the NBA Under the Radar News.
All right, so we have the Brooklyn Nets finally arrived in Orlando with their total of 5 players.
Yeah, about right, yeah.
Then we have Dwight Howard announced that he's finally going to return to play for the Lakers in Orlando, but he's going to donate all of his salary to a cause. Then we have Isaiah Thomas surprisingly saying he wants to team up with Zach LaVine in Chicago, which was kind of out of left field there.
Yeah, he was just talking about he wanted to join the Celtics. What happened?
And then you got Gordon Hayward says his wife is going to be having a baby during the bubble and he is going to leave no matter what. And her due date is in the middle of the scheduled playoff session, so we'll see how that goes. Celtics could use him.
The Celtics, I mean, they've been playing with injuries all year. I think they'll be okay.
Then we got Draymond Green surprisingly predicts the Lakers to win the NBA Finals, which I personally agree with. So I kind of like, that's the only thing I like out of Draymond Green.
I was about to say, now you like him.
And then lastly, Giannis Antetokounmpo says this year will be the hardest year at winning a championship. Probably because everyone's been out for 3 months without being able to work out and such.
It's hard in some ways and easier than others. It's definitely going to be different, for sure.
Now on to Megan with the NFL Under the Radar News.
This week, we have the NFL asked for 35% of players' salaries to be paid in escrow, meaning third parties, to manage costs. As you imagine, agents are already coming out against it, saying that players actually should deserve a bonus instead of, pay cuts, because they're going to have to play in these circumstances. I'm sure you guys heard about the Patrick Mahomes extension, which we'll get to later. Also going to be staying with Kansas City for a while is Andy Reid, head coach. He's saying that he has no plans of thinking about retirement. Even if it lasts until his 70s, he's going to let it roll. Oldest coach currently is Pete Carroll. He's been coaching since 1984 until now. He's 69. The oldest coach ever was George Halas. He was 72 years old, coached the Bears from 1920 to 1967. Also in the news, former Texan and Seattle Seahawk Jadeveon Clowney is still a free agent. Titans remain interested, but the GM, John Robinson, he wants Jadeveon Clowney to see team doctors before even making an offer. Also, teams that are interested was Browns and Seattle. Jadeveon Clowney says that he plans to sign with the team before the season starts if everything goes on time. And today we have a special guest, the executive producer and brand manager of the Boston Sports podcast, Boston Sports Syndicate. You can find them on Twitter at Boston Sports, capital S, capital Y-N. And you can find the website in the link below. James, how you doing today?
Hi, thanks guys for having me. I'm doing a podcast that's not my own. It's really strange.
So what we want to do what we do for everybody. We ask a trivia question. So
Okay.
This week's trivia question is, which NBA player broke the record for the most points scored during the first 3 starts of his career in 2012? I can give you some options.
Oh man. Yeah, do the options. Cause
We got Devin Booker, Jeremy Lin, LeBron James, Josh Smith.
it's not LeBron. Because 2012, I've already graduated high school, and LeBron, like my freshman year, was there.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, Jeremy Lin, and who else?
Josh Smith.
It's not Josh Smith. He's as old as me. I'm going with Devin Booker.
Okay. What about you, Sam? Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to go Devin Booker. Yeah.
All right. You gotta find out in the end of the show. Now for our first topic, Patrick Mahomes agreed to an extension, a 10-year extension, so he's gonna be in Kansas City for 12 years, $503 million it can reach to. So guys, what do you think? What's your thoughts on the signing? Do you think it was a great signing by Kansas City, or you think Kansas City jumped the gun?
My opinion is Kansas City jumped the gun.
Okay.
I know they wanted to lock him in, and I'm not against locking in your premier talent. I'm all for it, but giving him a 10-year contract, that is way, way too much. That is like...
It's a marriage.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know how long one bad leg injury to ruin his career. Yeah, I know he had one last year, and he still became the phenom. But over time, your body's gonna fail on you.
Mm-hmm.
So the 10 years, that's my big question mark. The money, yes, for the short amount of time, yeah, he earned it. 5 years, maybe 6, but 10-year contract. And Andy Reid already says, I'll coach. So you're gonna coach for additional 10 years. That's another decade.
In the history of 10-year contracts, they never work out. They never work out. For example, I have the names too.
Oh, you got the names? Okay.
2001, the Patriots signed Drew Bledsoe, 10 years, $103 million. Guess how many games he played?
Yeah.
2 games in this contract.
Yeah.
He played 2 whole games in this contract. Injured, never played against the Patriots, and they paid him for those 10 years.
That's stupid. Brady.
You think about that. Exactly. NFL is a physical game.
Yeah.
One hit can end your career. And you lock in that deal, and they're still paying you for years on end. He's probably the best quarterback in the league right now, and probably will be for the next couple of years. But you got to think, one injury, and it's over for him. And they're still going to be locked into paying him that salary when they can be paying someone else to help put their team to the next level. It's good for him. He's locked in. That's the smartest thing Patrick Mahomes could have ever done.
Along with Bledsoe, all the names that signed 10-year deals or longer has been Brett Favre, Culpepper, Michael Vick, and McNabb. So I'm interested to see that we actually all have like similar takes. I agree the money. I don't mind with the money. I feel like he is probably the best quarterback in the league right now. So yes, he does have the money, but 10 years is a long time. This is why I feel like it's good and bad. I feel like it's bad because, like you're saying, an injury can mess it up. It's a long-term commitment. Anything can happen in the future. How much does it limit you? Even though they can change stuff to, bonuses and stuff, but they set it up that way. But still, that takes a lot of work and agreements. On the good side, the market always increase, right? So who's to say now that the price that they got him now for maybe 5 years down the line might be way below than what the price will be at that time. So maybe it's better to buy more at a cheaper price than it was when the market might skyrocket in the future because NFL usually has more money each year. Given this year might not be the same, but in the future, I'm sure things will go back.
Yeah, the cap raises up, but it's not significantly enough. So now this major contract that Pat Mahomes signs is now going to affect his team. So the first time he complains about, I don't got the talent on this team, well, you signed a 10-year contract in 2020. Like, you got to think about this. Let's pay our quarterback this amount of money, but let's get pay cut from everybody else. Like, how is this fair? There's 11 people on the field.
Yeah, I think money should go based off position, like how much of value. But I think that is a lot of money, cap space to spend on just one position. I saw a funny meme there that they had Patrick Star with, I got $5 and it's Kanas City Chiefs for Chris Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, they have $35 million cap space next season, and they got Sammy Watkins and Chris Jones and some O-linemen and some defensive ends on the free agents. They can make it work, but it's going to be really tight.
Chris Jones will not be on the Kansas City Chiefs next year.
Early prediction. I like it.
He will want Patrick Mahomes' money, and the Kansas City Chiefs cannot afford that.
Now, I don't know if he'll be able to get that, though. I think he's going to definitely probably command one of the most money for defensive linemen in the NFL. I mean, we see the NFL contract a little bit below that. Now, how is this going to affect the QB market?
It raises the bar to like another level now. Because now we're like getting into basketball and baseball contracts now in the game of football, which is understandable. There's a physical toll on the body. It's going to be fun to see on the outside as like spectators and as fans, but it's also going to be annoying because there's going to be like that one up. There's going to be that next person. Like Lamar Jackson's contract is probably going to be 30 years and $600 million. Like always that one up now, and that's what this contract has set the tone for. Because now, like Cam Newton just signed with the Patriots for a $7.5 million, like full, like a very cheap deal, 1 year. Now all depends on what this is. Basically his auditioning for the other 32 teams. Now it's all depends on what he's gonna do. So now his next contract, maybe he outperforms Patrick Mahomes and be like, pay me.
Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson are rubbing their hands and that Birdman rubbing hands meme you see, because I know that people are gonna say, oh, well, they're not as good, stuff, but we see this all the time. If you look at the list of the contracts for the QBs, Jared Goff is up there. Like every year, each team wants to show out their QB and pay him the most money. Carson Wentz, I think, is up for a contract. You got Dak Prescott's contract. You have Lamar Jackson, maybe in a year or two, up for a contract. Especially pointing to Dak Prescott specifically, he was already asking for that type of money. Now he can see Kansas City paid Patrick Mahomes, and yes, he understands that he's not Patrick Mahomes, but what else does Cowboys really have as options? You know what I mean? Especially with how college football is looking like. How are they going to predict, the draft? What QBs? It doesn't look like there was much of a QB draft market to begin with. Now, it's unless they get that first round pick, which I doubt they will. What's the other options? Maybe Cam Newton, but Dak Prescott knows he's the best option for the Dallas Cowboys for the next couple of years. So I'm not sure if he gets a 10-year contract, but that 30, maybe 40 million per year, I think is on the table for now. And I think it's only, like I said before, the market just always goes up.
Real quick, before we go to the next thing, the quarterback you guys are forgetting, Deshaun Watson. He's still super, super young. He's like 23, 24. People kind of overlook him. He's still a superstar. And he's seeing that Pat Mahomes getting this deal. Deshaun Watson's the top 5 quarterback in the league right now. He's slept on. He's going to want to get paid close to the same amount, if not the same amount. And you think the Texans do it because they have no other option? Yeah,
but they messed up with DeAndre Hopkins. I don't really trust Texans to make smart decisions. They might franchise tag him for the next year or two. But
Watson's on his way out of Houston. There is no way of staying in Houston. I don't see that happen, foreseeable. But Sam is right. Watson's going to want that money too, because he's like, I'm young, I'm talented, where's my money? If you give me a team, I can play it.
All right, so going to the face of the NFL, to the face of the NBA. Now, LeBron's the most known player in the NBA. You can say he's the face of the league. Who do you think is the next face of the NBA after LeBron retires?
I'm going to have to go with Luka Doncic.
Okay.
He, coming from overseas, people really didn't know what to expect from him, because we've had a lot of overseas superstars that came to the league and weren't as good. We have some talented ones like Dirk Nowitzki and them that came over, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. But Luka Doncic can score from anywhere. He's a good size for a shoot guard / small forward. He plays defense better than a lot of people. He's been leading the Mavericks. He's the next coming of Dirk over there. He's going to be their next international superstar. He, in my opinion, out of all the rookies, second, third year people in the league, he's the closest one to an MVP. As we saw last year, he had MVP voting.
Okay, that's fair.
He's a consistent scorer, and they added Kristaps Porzingis over there with him. If he gets up to Luka's level, intensity-wise, they're going to be kind of unstoppable.
I mean, it's been shown through stats that when they play together, Kristaps Porzingis does not actually perform as well, and he hasn't really been the same after those injuries.
But they have to mesh. It's gonna take some time. Under one season together.
I mean, I get your comments about Luka and he got MVP votes and stuff like that. I do not agree with the defensive take. He is a one-way player right now. He's basically James Harden, right? Let's call it what it is. He's basically James Harden. He can score. He's a scorer. He's a nice distributor. He can create offense. But when it comes to the other side of the ball, he's not really existing.
Whatever you want to believe.
I mean, I can bring it up with the stats. Luka's not nowhere ranked in the top of defensive of any stats.
All right. Give me your take.
All right. So who I have, and I don't want to hear no homer thing because I'm about to back it up. Jason Tatum as the next face of the league, and let me tell you why. And I know people are gonna say Giannis.
He's already part of the face of the league.
Yeah, he's kind of part. He's 26. LeBron, I gave him another 3-4 years before he retires. So Giannis will probably be entering the middle or towards the end of his prime. Where Tatum is 22, and he'll be probably around the 26, 25 mark. So he'll be just entering his prime. If you look at Giannis's and Tatum's numbers with the third year in the league, which is Tatum is not, Tatum is a much better player than Giannis was. Already right now, Tatum ranks number 9 defensively in the league. All right, already a top 10 defensive player. He goes unnoticed. And offensively, everyone knows he's a scorer. Everyone knows what he can do. He's a great creator. He's ISO player. He fits in Brad Stevens' system well, and I think they're going to hand the keys over to him, transition from Kemba to him as far as the main scorer. After All-Star break, everyone saw him go off. He's a two-way player, which is why I have him over Luka. There's a reason why we don't see James Harden as the face of the league versus LeBron. Because even though, or Steph Curry. Because even though they're great amazing shooters, you need that, I feel like, that two-way player, the dominant player. And I feel like Celtics have a better chance of getting the rings than than Dallas Mavericks. And that's also what they're going to judge it by, too, is who has the most rings. And I feel like Tatum's in a better position with the coach, with the GM, with the surrounding pieces to get more rings than Luka.
So I was going to start off being on the fence, but then I did my research. I'm gonna lean towards Megan on this one and agree that Jason is. Luka, though, is going to be a threat. It's going to be kind of like how it was Larry Bird and Michael Magic Johnson, and then it was Brian and James. Like, there's going to be two key players, and that's what it is in the end. Luka is a fantastic player. Do not sleep on him, Megan. I'm sorry.
He's a great scorer, but defensively, where is he at?
He's there. Tatum's not a full threat. He's there. He's like
he's number
there.
9 defensively in the league.
Yeah. He's there. But Luka can get up there. And if Luka has enough pieces around him, then yes, I see him. Sky's the limit.
Okay.
But Tatum, every time I think about Tatum, I think about that block shot in the playoffs.
I think about the dunk over LeBron James. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. When he dunked over the King. That is the only thing I keep on remembering. And that, to me, that's like the passing of the torch moment. There's a case for many of the Zion could be a case down the line. But as the moment, the people that are like showing it's Tatum and Luka. Those are the top 2 young talents that could be the next phenoms in the league.
I think that the reason why I don't put Zion in that conversation is just because I don't know how his body's going to hold up. Like, he's a big guy, especially for his size. He already had one injury, and I want to see a full season before I put him in that conversation. And for the next topic, real quick, who do you guys have as a QB that has the most on the line for this 2020 season, if it happens?
I'm fighting for my life.
All right, let me start this off. I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. He wants that big deal. He's been begging for that big deal. And now seeing how Pat Mahomes got paid, his agent's probably telling him, hey, now that's happening. You're getting paid next. And he has all the weapons around him that he needs. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke in the backfield. That's probably the best offensive threat in the league right now.
Don't forget about Michael Gallup.
Yeah, exactly. They have everyone.
Gallup's going to be a sleeper. Guaranteed.
They have everyone on that team. He has no reason not to succeed. And seeing that he wants that big payday, you have to succeed now while you have these weapons, because you don't know how long you're going to have them. They can't pay everyone on that team. Someone's going to get cut at some point. He's going to need to prove it now while he can get paid before they run out of enough money.
All right, so that's an interesting take. I think the reason why I don't pick Dak over the guy I'm about to say is because I feel like Dak is already kind of proving he's a great QB in the league. He has put up great numbers. I think he just has the cowboy curse of just going 8-8. I think it's just attached to the team. I don't know if it's attached to him. I think he can succeed, and someone will pay him if the Cowboys don't. This play I'm about to say, I feel like this is his only chance. I feel like his job is on the line. Baker Mayfield. Now, because Baker Mayfield has the talent in the world right now. It's like you want to, especially Cleveland with QBs, you gotta prove you're not another Johnny Manziel, right? He got Odell, he got Nick Chubb, got Landry, he just got Hooper. And he just got a new coach. So this is your 3rd season in, you haven't had a winning record, you've been struggling, has been inconsistent for both seasons. I feel like he needs a full, consistent, winning season, or I think his job is on the line. I think they might start looking into another draft or a free agent for a QB. And I'm not sure if teams will take a risk on a Cleveland failed QB.
Okay. Before I say mine, so I'm going to go off of that. Baker Mayfield, no matter what, is going to have his job. He is 10 times more talented than Johnny Manziel. and I was a Johnny Manziel fan going into everything. Like Money Manziel, still wish he was on the Patriots. He is very talented. He's a Cliff Kingsbury player, and look at Kyler Murray, how good he was, and he was right underneath Baker in Oklahoma. So
I'm just saying, last 2 years he hasn't, especially last year, he had a 4.1 to 3.9 TD to interception ratio.
yeah, because he has two good receivers, and then what happened? They got rid of Callaway, and then Njoku didn't come back until mid-season. That's their key tight end piece, and now he wants out of Cleveland. Like,
I think there's just so many excuses. There's only so many excuses you can get. I feel like Odell Beckham and Laundry, there's QBs out there who's doing more with less.
And it was the first year, always the first year with Beckham and Land. Yeah, so it's always the first year. So it's always question mark. The quarterback that I think has most to prove, Tom Brady. Hands down. The man left New England because multiple reports saying like he didn't get along with coach or it's a Giselle issue, whatever. The dude left. Now he's gonna go and try and make a name for himself because he was labeled half of the media labeled him as a system quarterback, and then the other half labeled as a GOAT. So he has the most to prove. He's on a new team, new system, all that. Is he really the GOAT, or is he Tom, who's old and should have just either retired or stayed in New England?
Real quick, this is the only reason why I didn't pick Tom, because he was in consideration. It's just because of the fact that he does have the age excuse. So if he doesn't do well, I think it's because he just got older. If he would have done this early in people would say if he would have done it early in his career, it could have worked. So I think it's just, I don't think it would be blamed on the system more as the age.
Tom Brady's not the GOAT. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my gosh, get up. Manny did it. Okay, that's another day.
Sam, you're canceled. I'm taking over your spot. That's it.
I'm next up with Megan and James. So on to the trivia question. I asked which NBA player broke the record for most points scored during the first 3 starts of his career in 2012.
We both said Devin Booker, but now in my head, I think it's Lance Anthony.
It's Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin.
Yep, I was wrong. We were wrong,
Jeremy Lin
Dad.
became another. Jeremy, I put Booker name in it because I know he's a scorer and that's what people think of. But Jeremy Lin became another international sensation overnight, partly due to his record achievement of scoring 89 points in his first 3 starts on a New York Knicks in early 2012, when the Knicks actually had some potential.
See?
The good years.
Now you see, like, basketball is actually, like, basketball is probably low. I'm only saying number 4, but it's like lacrosse is actually ahead of basketball on the sports I keep interested in. Like,
That's disgusting.
lacrosse is so good. Oh my God, it's the outside version of hockey. So great.
And
so
don't
great.
sleep on basketball. Basketball is still the best, especially now. I get.
I am 4'2". I can't shoot a hoop.
I know, but
I've stopped interested in basketball. That is over.
Shoot for a 3-point line for nothing. Like, I get an air ball every time, but I watch it.
But you can shoot it above the rim. If you're next to the rim, I shoot it. I hit the bottom of the backboard, and then it's going down. I'm like, yeah, there goes that.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in to today's show. Thank you, James, for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me. Like Megan said, all the info is down below. You guys have a great show. Phenomenal. Thank you guys for having me again.
Thank you. And again, you guys can find all Boston Sports Syndicate's information in the comments, in the link below. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment how you guys feel about the topics we discussed today or future topics you want to discuss. Make sure you check out Boston Sports Syndicate and make sure you tune into the next show. Thank you guys and have a good night. Good day.